Is day 958. 958 days since Richard vanished from the barracks there at Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas. And he didn't just vanish. Something happened. And okay, so we have more breakthrough. More breakthrough. So we know now that Richard definitely was a whistleblower for child sex trafficking and child pornography. We have asked the authorities to please add a CID file and an FBI file to Richard's case. They have him in cold case there at Quantico. So many people are being covered up in this, and I'm very sorry for them. And you say, what do you mean? I'm very sorry for any criminal. I really am. Because what a future. No future. The abyss, right? The abyss, a millstone. How can you try to be a loving human being and not feel bad when someone has a millstone around their neck and just throws themselves in the abyss, right? How can you not feel bad? I don't want that for them, but that's the way it is. That's it. You know, this includes many, and it includes clearly. Okay, this is my opinion now. This includes many at higher places, higher positions. Human sex trafficking is very profitable. Human child sex trafficking is even more profitable. And why do they do it? You know, it's like, okay, let's do a 2-for-1, right? Let's do a twofer. Let's have child sex trafficking. Let's have child sex pornography, right? It's so disturbing that people are so callous, that they are so cold-blooded, and even to themselves, because you see, they're putting a millstone around their neck and throwing themselves into the abyss. And you know, whether well, so anyway, so we know that Richard was a whistleblower for that. And I'm a little shaken because I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you something sweet. Because I don't know if everyone knows, but we have 4 children. Richard is our youngest, and we homeschooled, and we have 8 grandchildren, and I will absolutely give my life to protect them from monsters. From monsters. I will. So we have to stand up for this. And anyway, so I'm going to show you this sweet thing that I found. Oh, I don't think I have to put that on. Here it is. I don't know if you can see it really well. Let's see if I can enlarge it. There it goes. But this is, this is on Telegram, and the way I'm doing things, I can't really enlarge it too well, I think. I don't know. But this is, I was just helping my daughter find some lessons for the McGuffey's primer. And this was in one of my files, things that we did together with the McGuffey's primer. And this was like a Valentine's Day craft. And anyway, I thought it was really sweet. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Let's see if I can share the whole screen. Let's see. Oops. There you go. There he is. Oh my gosh. Hashtag I love Richard Halliday. Okay. So I wanted to share that with you because it's what we're fighting for, you know? Fighting meaning speaking up, having courage, doing the right thing. Um, that, you know, that's worth everything. We need to have courage because, like I heard the other day, and I love it, and I'm borrowing, and I'm making it part of my own being. Courage is the foundation of all other virtues. I heard that, and I just thought, oh wow, this was on a Project Veritas. I think it was at CPAC for Project Veritas. That's exactly where it was that I heard that. And I thought, oh my goodness, this whistleblower says, yeah, she had to have courage because courage is a foundation for all other virtue. And wow, that's something I will never forget. And I thank her very much for that. So here we are being courageous because we're up against a lot of leaders that are up to no good. No good at all. And what do I mean by that? I mean, they take your pick of crimes. It's a big, fat criminal syndicate. And they will sell us out. They did. They did. In 2020, they sold us out big time. And it's even coming out. I heard a very interesting little connections with Oklahoma City bombing in this. So those that are old enough to remember Oklahoma City bombing and the children that were killed there, I think 80 plus people were killed. Children, because it was a daycare. How cold-blooded. And all this is coming out now. It's coming out. This is the more breakthrough. You understand that when we have breakthrough of this January 6th, right? With the January 6th, that the other night with Tucker, just that little bit of footage being shown of the shaman, they all went crazy because it revealed how absolutely two-faced they are. Because you understand that our government right now, along with our 44 four-star generals and admirals, and I always put it on the 44 four-star generals and admirals, okay? Because we have 44 of them. Why? We had 7 during World War II with 130, 13 million, I want to get the number right, 13 million service members. We have 1.3 service members, and we have 44. They only had 7 back then for 13 million. So why do we have 44? And I have to make this very, very clear. They are serving foreign and domestic enemies. So they have left us. You understand? They have deserted us. They are the deserters. They are the deserters, and they are the betrayers, and they have committed treason, and they have committed all kinds of crimes. And the tip of the iceberg is crimes against humanity. Okay? They are the worst type of criminals because they did all of this on our dime. Okay? So crimes against humanity on our dime. They have deserted us, continuing to take the money, the taxpayers' money. Then when they retire, like I think General McConville's getting ready to retire because of that Echo. That Echo is like a newsletter that goes out. My mom was telling me all about it, and General McConville was in there, and I'm sorry, I had to put on there worst type of criminal. Worst type of criminal. I had to draw on top of that. Liars, liars, liars. That's the Echo. The Echo that you hear is lies, lies. We are not Army ready. We are not Navy ready. We are not Air Force ready. We are not Marine ready. We are not Coast Guard ready. Lies. We take care of our soldiers. People first. Be all you can be. What was it? People first, ready, Army ready, and something else. And I'm like, lies. That's the Echo. The Echo through all of that was lies. And he's the worst type of criminal. He's the worst type of criminal. Because you see, when they deserted us, they left D.C. without any defense of the Constitution. And then all of those representatives and senators and their teams and all the stuff that goes on in D.C., then they had to find daddies, you see. They had to find, and that's why they found these CEOs, or they found the Army. They found the foreign and domestic enemies. They joined the Army in desertion. And I'm thinking maybe that's what Senator Lindsey Graham did, because he's always pushing for war. He wants our military to go down and fight those cartels. Well, look, you need to talk to your good friend Mitt Romney, huh? Mitt Romney will probably lay out the line of where the military could go and where the military can't go, because Mitt Romney and those Romneys and Farnsworth and Hatches and all those, they have all kinds of stakes, huge properties all through that Chihuahua area, and I'm sure the Tijuana area. I'm sure. And he's going to say, well, you can go here, but you can't go here, and don't ruin this. And because we have like the burn down, bomb down, destroy, oh, it's so much fun to destroy kind of military nowadays, which is so unjust, which is not right. You see, people always used to laugh when they saw those old movies where they would get into this empty field and they would fight it out. But that was the just war, right? What kind of cause are you going to agree to that? Like, let's fight in this empty field. Because, in God's law, you don't destroy buildings and women and businesses and children and fruit trees and nut trees and orchards, and you don't destroy the future when you have a war. That's why you do it in an empty field. You see, but we have maniacs now. We have absolute maniacs. And they go in and they just want to destroy. And they destroy even museums. And they destroy weddings. And they destroy everything that's good. They destroy it. They don't care. And then they call them names. They'll do a smear campaign, right? They'll do a smear campaign to make them not liable for all the rottenness that they did. And they hoodwinked us. They hypnotized us. They hypnotized us to think that they were doing something good. But they weren't. This has nothing to do with us. Afghanistan is coming out now, where this sniper was not allowed to take out the guy shooting our soldiers and other people that were just trying to get out of that country. No, these are, if that's true, right? Because what do we know is true? But I'm telling you, that was not our fight. That was for something mind I'm sure it was something mined or something in a field that the elites profit off of by getting a monopoly to sell it to us. It's always about a business plan. Um, I'm one of the one of those few people that don't use tabs, wash pods, or wash um, uh, the liquid laundry detergent. I don't like either one of them. Okay, I like to use uh, the dry grains, right? The powder, like the only one I can find right now is Gain, and maybe Tide once in a while, right? Just wash detergent, the powder wash detergent, the regular one that I can take a little bit of borax to, or a little bit of oxy powder to, or, and just use that to wash my clothes with, right? I don't like those pods. I don't like those liquids, okay? Because I don't feel like they mix into the water well, okay? They don't mix into the water like grains do, because grains take a little bit more time to dissolve, and then they also have like a little bit of a rubbing effect on the clothes. So I feel like they wash better, right? And there is a couple, if I find them, that I really, really like. But, the point that I'm trying to make is that we have too many monopolies. I'm putting all these dots together, because it's all these business plans that keep these leaders connected and covering up every kind of crime that they have to do in order to keep their monopolies. Okay? And then if something goes, and their monopolies are even in the worst type of crimes, like child pornography and child sex trafficking, human trafficking, any kind of porn. Now, this is something we have to wake up to. We've been hypnotized with the narrative that porn is consensual. Okay? We've been hypnotized with that. And I want to make that clear. If you support any type of porn, you are supporting child sex trafficking. Okay? I want to make that very clear. We have to face up to that, because it's the truth. It's the truth. And if you don't think that we've hit the bottom, that things couldn't get worse, that our porn has become a cultish sex prison, a weapon, I would think it's like, it's so toxic, it is a weapon. Okay? Because it's destroying our families, destroying our children, destroying our society. And it is, I can't even imagine someone paying that kind of money and thinking about that kind of economy, what that money could do if it was used for a good purpose, go work on your garden a little bit. Go start a business. Go apply that money to even helping other people, helping veterans, helping create a homeschool co-op, creating help for our cleaning up our streets, the homeless, soup kitchens, churches, and you can badmouth churches all you want, because I know they've been infiltrated. Well, use that money to help expose the infiltration in the churches, right? Because the Trinity is the answer to all of this. I hope everyone knows that. It's the one in the many. And that one in the many, that great debate in philosophy, it's the only debate in philosophy that no one can find an answer to, except for, and it's the difference between freedom, the one and the many, you see. Everyone knows it's the difference between freedom and totalitarianism and anarchism. So what do you want? You want anarchism? You want totalitarianism? Or do you want freedom? Right? And the only answer to the one and the many is the Trinity. Okay? And you've got to understand the Trinity. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost. God the Creator. God the Redeemer. God the law, the Word. Right? And the Spirit and the grace and the mercy and the love and the justice and the righteousness and the courage that is a foundation of all other virtues going through there. Do not be afraid. Fear not, right? That's the last thing that Jesus told us. Fear not. I will be with you. I will be with you. And so you've got to use that courage, that lack of fear, to step out and say, child sex trafficking is not okay. Human trafficking, child trafficking is not okay. Child pornography is not okay. Raping children is not okay. Pimping out children is not okay. Grooming our children sexually is not okay. It's not okay. It's worse than a nuclear bomb. It's worse. And Richard said it was not okay. And he was up against, when you're in the military, and those that are supposed to be your mentors, those that are supposed to be your leaders, they knew about this. And I'm just thinking about David Park's letter. Did he not know about the child sex porn? Did he not know about the child sex trafficking? Did he not know? Because it's in the news. It's in the news. And if Richard reported, hey, I got these child porn videos, what are we going to do about them? And they dismissed them? What is that saying? What is that saying? We need those legal files to see if that happened. And, because David Park did admit, as a West Pointer captain, that Richard gave him a lot of problems, right? And then you read the letter and you're like, well, what problems did he give you? He didn't give you any problems in that letter. He didn't give you any problems in that letter. So what problems did he give you? That he pointed out that there was child sex porn being airdropped throughout the barracks or throughout the installation? Huh? And where was this child pornography being produced? Right there on base? I mean, we have a colonel in uniform showing his erection on an installation in our gymnasium, in our uniforms, with our colonel rank, with the title of U.S. Army Colonel. And this is not in the news? This is not in the news? I cannot get over that. That is such a violation of every American taxpayer. Everybody that loves the Constitution and wants the military to defend our Constitution, it's such a violation of national security. You don't show your erection on our military installation in a dog porn mask, in uniform, and don't be called out for it. It's not okay. We've got to call them out for it. And they need to be called out for it publicly. Because there's lots of them, y'all. It's not just him. because he was bragging on how he likes to rear the puppies. And he showed pictures of the puppies in their mask. Where are they getting these doggy masks? And it's not okay. These sex cults are not okay. When are we going to say that? Oh, this is privacy. Privacy. He can do whatever he wants in his bedroom. He can do whatever. He can't rape children in his bedroom. He can't groom our soldiers and coerce them in his bedroom and rear them in his bedroom. We always give excuses. Excuses for insanity, for depravity, for the ruination of our country, for the ruination of our men, our women, our children. We give excuses. And then, if that's not bad enough, some people just get tired of it and join in. Join in. I'll take a piece of that money. You're making $800. You're making $1,000. You're making $50,000. Oh, you're making $100,000. Oh, you're making $200,000. Oh yeah, that's great. We'll just get a lot of kids raped. We'll just traffic a lot of kids. We'll just film it all. We'll film it all and share it all and broadcast it onto our military installations where, our fighting forces ready, be all you can be, army of one. It's not okay. It's not okay with me. And it wasn't okay with Richard. And from what I heard today, and I'd really like to know this, there was a lot of soldiers that went missing. There were a lot of cases that I don't know about. I think there were a lot that weren't okay. I don't know how many looked the other way because they didn't have to live on post. They didn't have to live in the barracks. I don't know how many. But this is the breakthrough. We know that the leadership in D.C. is so bad that they won't blink an eye. No, matter of fact, and this is Lindsey Graham. This is Ted Cruz. This is Mitt Romney. They're supposed to be virtuous, courageous, so smart. And they are. They're smart. They're so smart. And they're courageous. Courageous for evil. Courageous when serving the demons. It was so disgusting. The last videos I watched of them. And why is Mitt Romney important in this case? Because his father was born right there in Colonial Juarez. And they have stakes in the so many of the people involved in this case, and not in a good way, belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They're Mormons. They're supposed to be virtuous, right? They're involved in not a good way. And he can help. And he knows what's going on that border. This is a border issue. But he fights to keep it open. And I'm not saying there shouldn't be traffic going back and forth. But let's not have it open. Put a door. You have ports of entry. Come through the door. Don't just open the window and crawl in. Why? Who's trafficking? Who's profiting on the trafficking? If you're trafficking, then what are you trafficking on? The labor or the child porn or the porn? You know, who's going to say this? It's not okay for him to put innocent people in jail and not speak up about the border because he knows all about it, because he has stakes all about it. So the January 6th, where we were at, this is why it has something to do with us, and the day before January 6th, on January 5th, 2021, Lieutenant General Donna Martin contacted us and told us not to go. Don't go. Why? Because she knew stuff was going to happen. How did she know? Because they knew the feds were all over this. We know that. We know that this was such a betrayal to the American people. Because let me tell you, if the Republicans were on our side that day, January 6th, they would have at least had porta potties out there. They would have at least had some media. There was no media. There were no porta potties. There was just a few, 3, 4, maybe, I don't know. Maybe there was 5. I don't know. But we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people. And they weren't prepared even to sell them some French fries. To sell them some hot tea or coffee. To even, we had to find a place to use a restroom. Hundreds of thousands of people. They did not have security ready. And we got there pretty early. And we were at one of the very first people to reach, not one of the first, but out of the hundreds of thousands of people, we're one of the first to reach the Capitol. And all of those barriers were knocked down. They were just plastic. They were just plastic, webbing kind of, whatever. And they were already down. Who knocked them down? Because the people that I marched with, the people that I talked to, and I talked to a lot of people because I was handing out flyers and I was giving out the prayer candles. They weren't, and I have to admit, I saw some people that I thought, what are they doing here? What are they doing here? And then up where, you're not supposed to go, and they were jumping up there. They were telling everyone to come up. We didn't go. But they were telling everyone to go up there. They were egging people on. Who was doing that? Because the people I was around, we were interested in praying for our country. We were interested in singing for our country. We were interested in making sure that justice prevailed, that a true election prevailed. That's what we were worried about. We weren't worried about damaging anything. When I left, things were so clean. Things weren't broken. Did they show you anything broken along that whole mall? No. And we're talking about hundreds of thousands of people. And that's why I said it was so peaceful. Because you had the Washington Monument, you had the White House there, the Ellipse, you had all, it was cold, and you have the whole DC area, and you have hundreds of thousands of people, and nothing got broken that I saw. So up at that Capitol, those few little things, that people saw. Why aren't they arrested, those guys with the hammers? Why weren't they arrested? Who are they? We still don't know. So this is all coming out. And then, okay, let's talk about the COVID thing. Okay. And everyone knows how I feel about the COVID thing. I believe people get sick. I believe people get sick from multiple things. I think dirty water is one of the worst. The why we don't have a campaign for the most sparkling clean water in this country when we are $32 trillion in debt is beyond me. Because if you have sparkling clean water, you have good health in your country. You have good plants, you have good animals, you have good people, right? Sparkling clean water. And we have the know-how. Schoenberg, we have so much technology. And I'm listening Schoenberg, and I hope I get his name right. Super clean water technology, right? Super clean water technology. An Austrian logger, discovered everything about water. He's amazing. If you haven't looked him up, if you haven't watched his videos, if you haven't seen his books, go get them, because it's amazing. Clean water, structured water, how you get prime, structured, clean water. Super important. Super important for health. We don't get sick from viruses. Okay? We get sick from toxins. There's different ways we get. That's my belief. You might not believe me, but that's my belief. And virology is dead. In my book, virology is dead. Throw it out. Concentrate on clean water. Concentrate on clean food. Concentrate on clean air. Concentrate on good music. Because good music, Humpback of Notre Dame. Hasn't anybody seen that movie, Humpback of Notre Dame? Esmeralda goes to the church because of the healing power of the bells. The healing power of the bells makes her healthy, makes her whole. Okay, we need to look into vibration. We need to look into tuning forks. We need to look into, but no, everything has to be a pill today. And everything has to be a virus. You know why? Because then all liability is on Mother Nature. And not who dirties the water, who's dirtying the air, who's dirtying the food, who's giving us bad vibrations, bad emotions. Because bad emotions make you sick. Right? That's my belief. That's what I ascribe to. I feel like if the emotions are good, the vibrations are good, the food is good, the water's good, the air is good, I will be a much healthier person. Now, this is something new for me, I have to say. But this COVID thing that's coming out, they're going to, they want to do this lab leak. It's so profitable. Virology is so profitable. Oh my gosh, it's so profitable because you have to inject your animals so they don't get it. You have to inject your children so they don't get it. You have to, everything is fear, fear, fear. Oh, you might get this, you might get that. Yeah. And you might get it. You might get something. You might get sick. But I think that we've learned that a bunch of Cobra strikes do us more harm than good. They're not safe and effective. They're not safe and effective. That's my belief with all the research that we've done. So, yeah. So you can see why hands off on that Halliday family that's looking for the very first CONUS Dust 1 missing soldier in U.S. Army history under the Vanessa Guillen absent soldier flowchart. Hands off on that family because that mother says virology's dead. I say Darwin is dead too. The third that's such a racist, such a human theory. No esprit de corps in that. No Medal of Honor ethos in that, which is a good Samaritan. There's no good Samaritan in the theory of evolution. And it's just, you have to have such a faith to believe in it, because the end of every debate is God is. And the end of the debate of Darwinism is God is, which means Darwin loses. Because where do you get it? Where do you get the creative power? Where do you get it? It's not in a cell. Where does a cell get it? Right? Oh, some kind of mushy soup. Where does the mushy soup get it? From the stars. Where do the stars get it? And then the stars are in perfect timing around Earth. We have this clock in the sky, but it's only good for Earth. The sun and the moon and the whole system, it's only good for those on Earth. God is. So, get rid of that racist, heartless, cold-blooded theory, and we'll be better off. But they teach it in school. That's why we know our leadership is so bad and up to no good, because they're teaching our children to be thank you, the bell's tolling, to survival of the fittest. That's what they're teaching our children, instead of Mary helps the old blind man. Mary helps the old blind man. She holds his hand and helps him across the street. Right? That's McGuffey's. Mary helps the old blind man. She cares for him. We're not teaching that in school. We're teaching, of course, McGuffey's. Darwin didn't get a hold of us yet. And all of this stuff with Columbus being racist. It's like, don't you know that was way before Darwin? Columbus didn't think Darwin. Read his writings. He was not a Darwinist. He was not an evolutionist. So, neither was Washington. Washington was not a racist. Read his writings. He was not. That was way before Darwin ever wrote that stupid, boring book. Read his letters. There's 70,000 of them, maybe more. He left us his heart, his mind, his soul. He left it in those letters. You can read them. You can read them. Anyway, where's our courage today? Where is Washington? First in the hearts of his countrymen. Yeah. No, we teach our children to hate our past, meaning the creation, which means the creator, and And so then the courage is just survival of the fittest. But that's not how Richard was raised. He was raised with that heart that I showed earlier to care for people. And he wasn't okay with child sex trafficking, child porn, pimping out, any kind of sex, any kind of way, without any thought of anybody else in these sex cults, coercive sex cults, that puts a black mark on our military. I think that's treason to show your erection in our uniform with the doggy mask. It puts our entire military at risk. And to show the group, and people look the other way. The media is not even covering that. Get a spot here and there. No, it should be prime time. Prime time. And, do they even get jail time? Do they even get prosecuted? But you've got a guy that walks through the Capitol who's probably been, who knows what happened to him? I don't want to say what happened to him. But he walks through the Capitol with tour guides, and he's given 4 years in prison in solitary confinement. I heard he was in solitary confinement. What? I mean, we've got Cruz on that side. We've got, I think it's Cruz. Cruz, I think he called us domestic terrorists too. And he's supposed to be the one helping us. And he's got his wires crossed. He's got his wires crossed because he's been left defenseless. We saw that with Doomsday Warmouth, Christine Warmoth, the Secretary of the Army, who keeps, and I'm being nice, y'all. This is not me being mean. This is me being very nice. General McConville like a pug dog. He's not even going to speak up. He's just her little lapdog. He's not going to speak up to her nonsense. And who is she? Who is she anyway? Who are these people that we have given so much power to? And I don't even think we have given them, because I don't think the game has been played fair. I think there's been a lot of cheating. Because if they're going to do this kind of crime, they're going to cheat. The cheating is like just icing on the cake. And they've been cheating with this whole investigation with my son. They've been cheating. They've been using military operations, and on our dime. Don't forget, on our dime. They've been cheating with military operations. They've been cheating with asymmetric warfare tactics. They've been cheating with withholding important information, just like they withheld those important video clips that would save that man's life. And how many others are suffering because of withholding information or twisting information? And this connection back to Oklahoma City bombing, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. There's a connection? Yeah, we are way, way way beyond conspiracy theories. We have proof of total insanity and nonsense and up to no good when it comes to COVID, when it comes to January 6th, when it comes to our elections, when it comes to justice, when it comes to, I'm forgetting all the things that they are so criminal with, right? The opportunity zones, the Afghanistan, Benghazi, and on and on and on and on. With Austin Hawke, with Caleb Smither, with Enrique Roman Martinez, with Vanessa Guillen. Thank God they found her. They got an edge of the justice, an edge. True justice they haven't gotten yet. And with Austin Hawke, wow. Because he was getting threats way before. And they knew he was a whistleblower, and they didn't protect him. They didn't move him out. But with Richard's case, they moved everybody out so quick you wouldn't even believe it. They spread people out. Boom! They were out. They were out of there. You think they flagged them to keep them all together? Brought them in? We requested that they bring them all back together so we could find Richard. They didn't do that. They didn't do that because McConville's people first, Army strong, is a lies, echoes of lies, lies, lies. And then he wonders, and I want a strong military. I want a strong military. That's why I want every one of these 44 four-star generals and admirals that are the cause of all of this. Because they have the weapons. They have the guns. They have the submarines. And they even admitted to keeping information from the commander-in-chief. He admitted it. So they have our entire military, our entire military power, right? They have our love, they have our money, they have our support, they have our volunteer sons and daughters. They have it. They need to be investigated. They need to be audited. They've betrayed us. They've committed treason. They've committed crimes against humanity. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. And they've left Washington, D.C. defenseless, so they would have to find some other daddies. And that caused more corruption. That caused a lot more corruption. That caused a whole domino effect of corruption that we see today. And that corruption has even gotten to the point where they will cover up for child pornography, child trafficking, and who knows what else? Who knows what else? And, well, we know that they even covered, they lockstep to this COVID nonsense. And they lockstep to this January 6th nonsense. Because it was nonsense. That whole investigation was nonsense. Who were the guys with the hammers? Huh? Who was the guy with the pipe bomb? Huh? No. They go after someone that might have entered their office, stood on their desk. They can let in 2020 all these opportunity zones, buildings be burnt down, windows broken, total neighborhoods destroyed, vehicles destroyed, the police, people dying, people shooting. They will, oh, that's peaceful. They think that we will stay hypnotized by their narrative, oh, follow me, follow what I say. You don't see the burning buildings behind me. You don't see the people getting killed. You don't see the businesses being destroyed. No, no. You don't see the children being raped. No, you don't see all the porn. You don't see all the, that's what they do. They hypnotize you with this. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. The doggy cult is okay. It is okay to have a doggy cult in the military. Yeah, that's how they hypnotize you, and you're walking around. Oh, okay, okay. It's just like that king in Lord of the Rings. What's his name? Is it the King of Gondor? Am I the right one? Anyway, my daughter will correct me. But he's all hypnotized, and it wasn't until his hypnosis was broken that he would come to reality. And then even then, he had to be reminded that war was upon him whether he liked it or not. It was too late. He was hypnotized too long to try to fix this in any other way. He had to have courage and stand because he was hypnotized too long. Too much damage has been done. It's time to stand. And we need that courage because all other virtues, love, grace, mercy, justice, righteousness, steadfastness, all of that comes from courage. So, okay, y'all. We have a lot of things going on behind the scenes. I'll take your questions. And there has been some other, I have some news probably tomorrow for you too with what's going on with this new break, but with all of this other breakthroughs that I can't even keep up with. Just keep praying. Praying it's all going to come together and we'll find one person, one agency, just one that finally says, wait a minute, that wakes up from the hypnosis, right? And says, we've got to do the right thing here. Okay. $16 comments. Hi, Kat. Thank you. Thank you. Hashtag. Yeah, Lindsey Graham was saying that we need to send troops into Mexico to fight the cartel. Why didn't they send troops to find Richard? We have the father-in-law of Lieutenant Colonel Bugado of the G3 of the 32nd ADCOM saying that he's with the FBI. So he must be an FBI informant, right? He's saying he's with the FBI. And he's saying that the FBI found the remains of Richard in Mexico, in Juarez, Mexico. Why isn't that important for Lindsey Graham? Because you know what? Lindsey Graham, we're his constituents. I wonder if those 4 people were his constituents. We're his constituents and he doesn't care. He flicks us off like a fly. He doesn't care about the soldier. He's a worse type of criminal too. Taking our soldiers into Mexico. Oh my gosh. Now the government is banning TikTok from federal employees' computers, is what I hear. Yeah, because TikTok is competing against them. TikTok is a free space. They're saying, oh, they can hack in. Oh, it's ruled by China. Oh, they can get our information. Look, all of Apple, China has Apple's keys to the cloud, right? Apple can go into, are they going to Are they going to ban Apple? And Microsoft? They can go into anything and hack in. I really like TikTok. I really do. I need to go on it tonight. They can't even get control of illegal guns. No. I wonder what that means. 44 four-star generals with all that top, that's just the four-star generals. What about all the other flag officers, right? We're so top-heavy, we're so bloated, and they can't do anything right. Not one thing can they do right. And then they go, oh, I wonder why we can't get any recruits. Because people don't want to go in. The message is getting out that you are serving foreign and domestic enemies, and they don't want to be part of it. They're being, they join, and the message is getting out that they're hostages. They're hostages to help the 44 four-star generals serve foreign and domestic enemies. I mean, that's not why they joined the military. And we need our defense back. They have hijacked our defense. We need it back. We're paying for it too. We need it back. Now, how are we going to get it back? I just don't even know how we're going to get it back. Because our Washington, D.C., they're like limp noodles. That all they are is a bunch of hot air talking. I mean, we don't even have a really good, productive COVID investigation. We don't have an investigation on Find Richard Halliday. We don't have an investigation of why all these soldiers went missing or were murdered, brutally murdered. We don't have a true investigation on this sexual porn epidemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it. And with the child sex trafficking. And, I have to show you this before I go. I really do. I have to show you this. It was shared, and, yeah, here we are.
I went to Fort Bliss, the emergency intake center. You guys heard of this? Fort Bliss. To handle all the unaccompanied minors coming to this country. And as I was there, the admiral's running it, and I'm like, sir, why don't we send these kids, these are unaccompanied minors now, back to their home country, back to their town? And the admiral said, well, they don't know where they came from. So these kids are from, I saw one, I know he's probably no more than 5. And I saw some probably, the average was 16, 17-year-olds. So they're saying these kids, these unaccompanied minors, do not know where they came from. I said, well, where are we going to send them to? Oh, we're going to send them to a Google address in the United States of America. Then we don't background check the people we're sending them to. So one of my friends here, I remember earlier, hit on this. We are actually, with taxpayer dollars, are now trafficking children, and we're paying to get them there on American taxpayer dollars and put them in God knows what and God knows where. And so the thing that really, I think Andy Biggs has mentioned this, Rep Biggs, is, y'all, we've lost 20,000 children.
20,000 children.
Mayorkas said himself in a hearing he does not know where 20,000 of these children are.
So they don't know where 20,000 children went. They don't know. They don't know. They didn't even do any checking. Wowzer. So it's not me, y'all. It's not me. It's me finally trying to figure out, connecting dots with my son. Child Protective Service complaints. Child porn videos being turned in. IG all over the barracks because of Halliday. Asymmetric warfare tactics, smear campaign in the MPs. FBI informant saying the FBI found the remains of Richard in Juarez, Mexico. Richard buying a gun 5 days before he leaves. Shaky soldiers. Even the command sergeant major, nervous as heck, lies, and the splitting up of the unit all over the place. Where's Major General Clem Coward? You know, he was in Washington, D.C. over the rape program. Woo! This is after he served over Asia Graham making complaints and him saying, shut up about the rape. I guess that's what I was told. That she was told to shut up about her rapes. Her rape. I get a little. She complained about her being raped, and they told her to shut up. And this happened under the command of Major General Clem Coward. I should have said it like that. Thank you. It gets so exasperating. And by the grace of God, I'm trying to stay very calm with all of this, because we're talking about a lot of time going by and no one doing anything, and more children getting hurt, and more service members getting hurt, and our service members are being held hostage and being groomed and being hypnotized, and our 44 four-star generals sucking up all of our money to serve foreign and domestic enemies. And here I am, a mom, having to say this on a live stream, risking, and I'm not just a mom, I'm a Gigi. I have 8 grandbabies. And risking, and it's just, it's so crazy. It's so crazy. Where is the Ted Cruz's? Where are the Lindsey Graham's outrage statements on all of this? Where is their action on all of this? They're the ones that have the real power. Where is Mitt Romney's action? That's his whole area. He might be a senator from Utah, but it goes all the way down into colonial Juarez, the whole Chihuahua, Mexico area. I mean, come on. He's got a lot at stake. Literally. Where is he? Where is he on all of this? And I just, you can go on and on about the leadership that should be doing this work, so that the Gigis in the world, the grandmas in the world, can be grandmas, can bake the cookies, can take the kids to the zoo, can, do what Gigis do. That's how society works. But, and I'll tell you, the day that I totally disliked Hillary Clinton, and that's when she belittled people making cookies. She belittled that. Do you know how many cookies I've baked for soldiers? Right? She belittled that. Like we're all supposed to be corrupt politicians like she is. Crybabies when she doesn't win an election. You're supposed to be a strong woman unless your husband is in the Oval Office getting a blowjob. And then you have to kind of look the other way. No. I'm sorry. I was like, if any woman is not proud to make cookies for our troops, for their family, for their grandbabies, if they're not proud to make a nice bed, make a nice meal, clean a nice house, iron some beautiful clothes, make some clothes, sew some clothes, make a nice garden, so that when their family comes over, when their husband comes home, their house is their castle. If they're not proud to do that, to take on that role, to share their life with their spouse. I'll be in charge of the home. You go and bring in the bacon, right? You go bring in the money. I'll make sure I'll take care of this home. How do you think Rob was deployed so many times and came home a happy man? Because he didn't come home to chaos. Because I was proud to serve the United States of America, the United States military, by making my husband not have to worry about his home, not have to worry about his children, by working my buns off to make sure our home was his castle, our castle. He could worry about healing those war fighters, healing those soldiers, fixing them up, taking care of them. I didn't want to add to his pressure, his stress. I didn't even really know a lot about the military until this all happened, because I didn't get into his business. I went to this ball. Whoever organized that ball in Heidelberg did such a bad thing. It was really an award ceremony that lasted like 7 hours, and it was excruciating. It was so painful. I bought this new dress, and Rob did his dress blues, and we just sat there the whole time. I'm like, geez, I could have done this in my jeans. It's like, where's the music? Where's the dancing? Where's the getting to know people? Where's, they just, they don't do things very well. And yet I still supported them. I supported my husband. I supported my children. And I was proud to do it. And still am. I'm very proud to be a woman. Very proud to be a grandmother. Very. And that's where the one and the many comes in. The husband is not more important. The wife is not more important. The children are not more important. But the husband is important. The wife is important. And the children are important. We're a family. And we have different purposes, different jobs. I'm not a husband. My husband is not a wife. My children are not the wife or the mother. The children are not the father or the mother. But we're one family. And it's incredibly beautiful. Incredibly beautiful. And it's under attack. It's under attack. So, okay, I'm sorry I'm taking so long. God bless all of you. Share and speak up. Get some courage. The time is just amazing for sharing the information that you have. It's the political time, I think, is it's near perfect. It's near perfect because I think so much hypnosis has been broken, but I think a lot more needs to be. And especially with getting this investigation into hands that want to truly investigate it, that want to bring us our son. Because that is possible in this. Even though I've been told he's been poured acid over, he's been chopped up and put in different places. I've been told that. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, everyone. disclaimer, all the things on here are from Patricia Halliday. I take full responsibility for my opinions, for my experiences, and yeah. Thank you. God bless.